Good morning, El Paso. Welcome. This is AMP El Paso, the Art Millennium podcast for El Paso. And I'm back today to talk to you about the events going on between February, Thursday the 6th through Sunday the 9th, 2020. I'm just getting started. I'm back here in my little recording room where I was. I tried to record in the living room last week, and it didn't work out very well. I mean, it was fine, but with the dogs and everything, it's just a lot harder to record there. You got a lot of possible things that could ruin this half professionally. Actually, it's not even half professionally. It's just this podcast. But anyway, how was your week? How was your first week of February? How was the Super Bowl? Did everybody enjoy it? How was that halftime show, the pregame and the postgame? Congratulations to the Chiefs. I think they were actually kind of the underdog, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I mean, that quarterback, Mahomes, is actually pretty impressive, dude. They did a comeback, at the fourth quarter? I actually watched the whole thing. And it was really one of the best Super Bowls that I have seen, probably as far as I can remember, for the few years that I've been watching. And I thought it was a great show. It was a great halftime show. It was a good game. The whole scoring, I think it wasn't very lopsided. You know, I like to see very interesting games, especially if it's a Super Bowl. You want to be able to enjoy a good game. You want to be able to not really get your money's worth, I guess, but certainly if you're there, if you have a chance to go. But even if you're just watching it on TV, it's a big deal. So you want to be able to enjoy a very decent game. And I thought it was a pretty good game. It was a great halftime show. There was a lot of talk about that. And I think, like I said, the Kansas City Chiefs were maybe slightly the underdog. I know everybody had high hopes for Mahomes. And they're around the, right after halftime when they were 10-20, was it? People started thinking, ooh, maybe Mahomes is not what everybody else thought. And, if you saw most of the season, you could really see that he's a very good player. He's a very, very good player. And like I said, I really enjoyed the whole game. I watched the whole thing. I actually got a couple snacks to be able to enjoy. I kind of watched it by myself, and I really enjoyed the whole thing. So, with that come and gone, now for me, I don't know if for everybody else, it's starting to feel like the year's finally kind of kicking into gear. With the next holiday coming up being Valentine's Day. I don't know. I feel like that's more for girls. Certainly guys probably enjoy doing some things, but it's mainly geared towards women. Come on, right? Let's be real. It's it's fine, I guess, if you want to do something nice for your woman, for your girl, for your lady, or whatever you call her, for your hyena. Being here in El Paso, right? Do we still use that, or is that too old school? I know some of the old school guys that I know still use that word. Some of the old school guys. So yeah, anyway, this is going to be events starting Thursday. There's actually a lot of events that are actually going, starting, some of them even Thursday, and they go all the way through to Sunday. And this is going to be, hopefully it'll be a short one. I always try to keep this nice and short, but it always ends up going. I wanted to be able to do it under 45 minutes, since it's kind of a long way. And like I said, 45 minutes. I don't cover all the events that happen around El Paso. I certainly do miss a lot of things. And I try not to take a lot of time in being very repetitive. But this weekend and these next few days, there's a lot of things that are geared a lot toward the Valentine's Day holiday. It's considered a holiday, right? And there's some artsy stuff out there going on. And of course, this is your venue, your what is it, auditory venue, I guess. And I appreciate all the people that actually listen to this. We're starting to pick up here, which is pretty exciting. And like I said, a lot. This is mainly geared towards art. Maybe this year you're gonna do something different for your woman. Maybe make her something, and just embrace the whole art scene just popping up all over El Paso. And it really is. It really is. I gotta be honest. I've seen the art scene kind of growing here in El Paso. As far as anything, people that make things for art markets, or people that do music. There's a lot of venues, especially that do. Last week we had the Battle of the Bands at a couple different places, and as far as music, we had. I think this week we have a ballet coming up. I'll look here at the notes that I have written down. But like I said, El Paso's starting to really kind of get into its own thing. We're kind of getting our identity, if you will. In terms of what art we kind of like, and starting to have a place for everybody. And that's actually kind of cool. We're starting to get a little things. El Paso has always been a very traditional place, and it's one of the things that I love about it. Certainly tradition is one of the things that keeps our families and our community very closely knit together, and one of the things that makes it really beautiful. We're getting there to the point where we're starting to develop our identity there towards what art we have and what art we're geared towards. But we're still being very inclusive, and there's a lot of things that are very, I guess you would consider it maybe open-minded. We got a lot of things that are more on the alternative side, which is also pretty exciting. And it's all really cool. For me, one of the things would be I'm trying to, and I'm gonna try to integrate it here into the podcast a little bit, is trying to cut back on all the plastic usage and like styrofoam plates, styrofoam cups. Being here in El Paso, we're a big. We enjoy our parties. We enjoy our family time. We enjoy our carne asadas. And I mean, obviously with the Super Bowl, I'm sure everybody had Super Bowl parties this last week. And that's one of the things that makes this place seem, or it just feels, I mean, El Paso, the whole city, we're very closely knit together. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started here with the podcast. Sorry, I had to hit pause there for a second. This is happening way too often. I don't know. Do we do that a lot? Is it okay? I mean, it's not like it takes anything from the actual podcast, right? Oh, the rhythm. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to try to personally, and I'll try to push this here a little bit, but I don't want to be overbearing, and I don't want to be annoying about it, really. But I am trying to, I think it is a very good idea, especially with everything that's going on around us, to try to cut back on a lot of the disposable things. Here in the podcast, I'll try to push one of the things that gets a lot of slack, I guess. Or gets a little flack. What is it? Anyway, one of the things that people like to talk about a lot is plastic bags. And I try to use them. I try to use reusable bags, the cotton little totes there. And I have actually been pretty good about it. And I think it's a good thing if you're maybe one of the younger generations, or if you're one of the millennials, that you kind of know a little bit. We try to keep informed. We try to stay informed because in the next few years we're going to be the people that deal with the repercussions of all the things that are happening with the environment. And yeah, I mean, especially what I try to use is I try not to drink out of plastic water bottles. I haven't bought those packs of water bottles. Of course, whenever we go to events or something like that, especially now here in the summer, everybody gives out plastic water bottles and things like that. And it's nice, because people are looking out for each other so you don't get heat strokes or you don't get dehydrated. So you don't suffer whenever some of these events that happen sometimes, like at the stadiums and all that, or even at the like beer fest and stuff like that, like the festivals. Like I think last week we also had the wine festival. Fortunately it was nice and cool and everything, but especially here in El Paso, we get really hot. So obviously it's appreciated that we get all these water bottles and we get water and all these things to try to take care of the people, your patrons that go to your events. But as a patron, I feel like it's my responsibility to, I got to take care of myself. And if I'm trying to be a little bit more conscious about that, it's too hard. Like I said, I don't use water bottles anymore. I actually have like one of those metal insulated things. And it holds it's larger. It's probably twice the size of one of those regular water bottles. I could refill it even if you're at a water fountain somewhere. I usually fill it up at my house in the mornings, and I'll try to bring that around the car if I'm going to be doing errands and things like that. And even if I'm not very thirsty, just if you're walking around and everything, try to drink some water and all that stuff. And it's better. Plus, I've also heard that this was probably a couple years ago, but if you're hauling around on a hot day, some water bottles like in your car, I heard that's dangerous because something with the sun and the plastic and the heat, it actually affects the water, and then you end up having that, and you end up drinking all that, like all the chemicals or whatever that's in the plastic. And that's one of the good things about like the steel insulated bottles. They're inside there. They're just metal, and there's really no there's nothing that really leaches into the water from that metal and everything. And the other thing was the reusable bags. Like I said, I have a few of those totes. We actually have a little too many because we try to buy different ones, and we like some of the designs that some of them have. But I have actually been pretty good about those. And like I said, I'm not going to try to push anybody, and I really don't want to be annoying, but I'll try to encourage some people. If I could encourage just the listeners of the podcast, it'll make a small difference. And people try to make the argument that well, in order to make a like one of those cotton or cloth totes environmentally safe or whatever, or to what is it, the carbon footprint of what you would make a plastic bag would be like you have to use it for 50 years or something like that. And I guess that would make sense, but with the problem that I guess the counterpoint to that or a rebuttal to that point would be that once you use your tote, you don't throw it away. Then that's one of the good things about those things, that people just think, oh, well, compared to plastic bags, a plastic bag, it's easier to make than a tote, but you end up reusing the tote. You don't end up just throwing it. Most of the things that we buy at grocery bags, if we don't use them for like a trash bag or something, especially like all the produce bags, the ones that are really thin, clear plastic, those, from what I've seen in my experience growing up and everything, it's usually like a single use kind of thing. You just use it once and then you throw it away. And those are the things that are going into the landfills and everything like that. And we should probably try to be a little bit more conscious about that. And like I said, I'll try to push those. Eventually, I'll try to get some products and get the logo on there and maybe something nice about El Paso within the logo. Although I am very happy with the logo that I have for the amp. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to try to talk about those a little bit more. Eventually, try to make some products with the logo and all that. But yeah, so we'll start to. I'll giving you a heads up. Maybe you could go. Plus, there's a lot of designs you could personalize all. While you're doing grocery shopping and all that. I like to take my time on my day off and do my grocery shopping for the week. That way, I don't have to go out in the middle of right after work or anything like that. If I'm already tired, I don't want to be go to the store and do all of my shopping and deal with things, and maybe you just have to buy a couple of things that you forgot. So we try to make a list throughout the whole week and then do our shopping in one day and just see. Like right now, I know for a fact that I need ketchup. So, there you go. And I'm going to buy a bottle of ketchup, and I know I'm not going to need it anymore. So, yeah. Anyway, so starting with our events, like I said, a lot of these are repeating throughout Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and a couple of them on Sunday. And of course, a lot of them are geared toward Valentine's, or one of the events had it as Galentine's, which, that's nice if your girl wants to go with her girlfriends or whatever for a Valentine's Day thing. That's good. So let's go ahead and get started here with Thursday. This is Thursday, February the 6th, 2020. And some of the events, of course, on a Thursday, most people still go to work and everything. So a lot of these events happen toward the evening. And the first one I have here is the event for I Love El Paso. It is a event here in the El Paso Museum of Art, and that one is starting at 5:30 in the afternoon. There in downtown, the El Paso Museum of Art. And it's basically an event of this young man's, I don't know him. I did read a little bit about it, but it just talks about the history of El Paso. And this is actually like an annual event, and this is, I believe, let me see, it probably says right here. Well, it says annual, so it might actually be the first one. But yeah, and they're going to be, it's like I said, it's going to be at 5:30 at the El Paso Museum of Art. And there's going to be, it's basically about the history of El Paso, and if you're listening to this podcast, I'm pretty sure you have some kind of love for El Paso. And the cool thing about that is that they're going to be talking about all the things about here El Paso and some history and all that. And they're actually going to have some refreshments and stuff, including a Dead Beach Brewery and a Wine Attitude. And there's going to be a couple food things right there. So that's beginning Thursday. Also, we have the UTEP Dinner Theater. This one was also last week. And this is one of the events that is going to be happening Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well. Sunday is the only time when it's actually earlier. This is a UTEP Dinner Theater. And it's the same show that they had last week. If you missed it, if you were busy with the Super Bowl, this is the perfect time to go watch the show. Plus, you could take your girl out, especially for you people that maybe, you like some of the classical, rock or disco music, would it be? This is a Saturday Night Fever at the UTEP Dinner Theater. This is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thursday, it's at 7 p.m. At the UTEP Dinner Theater. Tickets are $45. And it features most music from the Bee Gees. Okay, and also at 7, also at UTEP, at the Don Haskins, women's UTEP basketball are going to be playing versus Charlotte women basketball. They're at the Don Haskins Center. Also Thursday. And also Thursday, moving on later at 7:30 at the comic strip. This guy's been actually doing a little bit of promo with the KLAQ morning guys. And I've heard a couple of the commercials going out throughout the day. But this is actually Jay Farrow. He's been, I think one of the things that he's most known for was like SNL and stuff. And he's going to be at the comic strip at 7:30 on Thursday, the 6th. And that is Jay Farrow. And this one, I mean, you probably couldn't miss it really if you've been paying any sort of attention here at to just the radio or whatever. Like I said, my big one, I try to listen to the morning show, the KLAQ morning show, most of the days that I can. And, sometimes it's easier than other days to catch it if I'm not busy or anything. And that's actually all the events that we have there for Thursday. So to start going into your weekend, into your Friday, Saturday, Sunday, your big three there. I don't know. Do people usually have Fridays off? It always seemed like your last work day that you would enjoy, right? Anyway, so starting the earliest is at 1, and this is going to be 1 p.m. on Friday, the 7th. This is at the El Maida Shrine, and this is actually the 57th annual El Paso Coin Show. And, if you basically, I think we all know, and we've all seen either commercials or anything about all these collectible coins. I actually didn't know that we had this event here in El Paso, and it's one of the wonderful things that doing this podcast actually opens me up to. And, for me, I think it's pretty neat. Just if somebody does really have I've heard some of these coins are very valuable. Even some of the coins that we still use today, sometimes in the mix, there's some of these old ones that if you kind of know, it turns out like a penny or something like that, it could be worth I don't know, hundreds of dollars or something, maybe thousands. So yeah, if you like coins, or if you know somebody who's into coins, you could let them know about Friday, starting at 1 at the El Maida Shrine. It's the El Paso annual El Paso Coin Show for 2020. And that's actually going to be the earliest thing for Friday. Everything else is more here toward the evening. And, not to keep repeating, I've already repeated myself so many times here. The UTEP Dinner Theater with the Saturday Night Fever, that one's at 7 on Friday. The one different thing today would be, or not today, but rather Friday, is going to be the El Paso Rhinos. And that is also at 7. Especially, with this cold weather that's coming up this week, that hopefully you've all seen the forecasts. Some hockey actually sounds pretty cool. And that's going to be at 7 at the El Paso County Coliseum Event Center. I believe that's the one right next door to the actual El Paso Coliseum, which is where they have their rink there. And tickets go from $5 to $30. And that is the El Paso Rhinos versus the Northern Colorado Eagles. Also Friday at 7:30, also at the comic strip, is Jay Farrow once again. And later that night, starting at 8, there's a couple concerts. One of them at Speaking Rock, that is Escape the Fate. And that is, I think we've actually heard of them on the radio. Escape the Fate, they're an American rock band. I believe it says here they're from Las Vegas. And that is at Speaking Rock at 8. That is Escape the Fate. And if you're on this other side of town, at Sullen Park Racetrack and Casino, we have Frecuencia. That is a pop variety music group also, and that is also at 8:30 at Sullen Park. That's Frecuencia, and that's like a variety kind of cumbia, kind of that kind of music. If you want to look them up, it's spelled like you would spell it in English, Frecuencia with a Z at the end. And I think that is it for today. Oh, also Jay Farrow on Friday, Saturday, and I think Friday and Saturday he's going to be having 2 shows a day. So the shows are at 7:30 and 10, both Friday and Saturday. And that's actually probably it for Friday. So moving on to Saturday, we're going to have this is the good one. This is actually a good one, and I shared a couple of things. They had adoptions last week. I would assume that they maybe try to direct you or help you out. I know they actually were able to put up a couple of puppies for adoption last week, which is pretty exciting, and it's very nice. I mean, we're dog lovers here at the house, and it's just beautiful. Some of the videos that you see when some of these puppies get adopted and everything, it just breaks my heart, really. So that's going to be also here on Saturday morning, starting at 10 at the Union Plaza in downtown. That's the Artist and Farmers Market here in downtown El Paso. And that's actually a really good one. If you're already up and at 'em Saturday mornings, you definitely have to go by there. And, you can buy some other stuff. You buy a lot of natural products, and it's a lot of local things. I think I did share that I think the people from Favens that had their bees hives that they had them destroyed, and I do believe that I had seen them here at the downtown market. So hope that they get justice coming their way. And yeah, I mean, like I said, just going back to the environment and all that, I feel like I think we've heard that bees are kind of a big part of that. All right, so moving on. Go support all your local artists and farmers and all the industry here locally in El Paso. Plus, if one of the benefits of local honey is that the local honey, wherever you live, it actually has it helps you fight off whatever local like flus and some of the things are. It actually helps you fight them off. So one of the benefits of local honey in that sense. All right, so moving on. Also, on Saturday. So we're still on Saturday. We're still very early on Saturday. At 11:30, the Tea Spout over on, I believe it's on Mesa, is going to be having Gatsby Girl paint night. And that's right on par there with the, we're back in the 20s. So this is actually very, very fitting here for the second month of the, we had that palindrome thing during the Super Bowl where it was like it was all twos and zeros. So with the 20s, right? I mean, right on top of us, we could enjoy some of the Gatsby Girl paint night. They're at the Tea Spout, and that's starting at 11:30 in the morning. Tickets are $35, and ages are recommended 13 and up. And it's a couple hours to go have some fun and go make some art. Also, Saturday we have some more UTEP women's basketball, and that is starting at 1 p.m. at the Don Haskins Center. Tickets starting at $5. And this is the one that I kind of stood out just because I have heard the Galentines, for the Valentines. I have heard the Valentines name used for it, and this is actually at Flor de Barro Gallery. And this is actually a very nice gallery. I enjoy some of the things. I actually look them up whenever I think they get interviews every once in a while through NPR. And I just enjoy some of the things that they have to say sometimes, and I go into whatever the article is on their website and try to look at some of the things that they talk about there. And that is a Galentine's Rosé and Paint, and that is rosé as in wine. So you could go have some wine, and this would be actually good exactly for Galentine's. Just take your girlfriends and everything and go enjoy some painting and drinking. And that is starting at 6 p.m. at Flor de Barro Gallery. Tickets are $35. And also, again, at the UTEP Dinner Theater, once again, is the Saturday Night Fever there at the UTEP Dinner Theater. And also, again, on Saturday, we have the El Paso Rhinos at the Coliseum. Again, Jay Farrow at 7:30 and 10 at the Comic Strip. The different thing is here we have another comic coming to the Abraham Chavez Theater, and that is Eddie B. And he's bringing us tour. I'm already professionally developed here at 8 p.m. at the Abraham Chavez Theater on Saturday. Also on Saturday, if you're looking for something a little bit more upbeat and maybe a little bit even more dangerous, would be the Tough Hedeman Bull Riding. And this one, I might actually invite somebody to this one. We know a couple of people that really, really like the rodeo and all that good stuff. And these guys also come, I think, once a year, maybe twice. And this is going to be happening at the El Paso County Coliseum, which, it's right next to that the El Paso Rhinos. So you don't even have to drive very far between those two events, depending on what you want to go do. Or if maybe, if you go with your family and one of them wants to go to the Rhinos and one of you want to go to the bull riding, you'll just be next door, and meet out afterwards and go have some dinner, just on a nice Saturday night, and just enjoy the brink of your Saturday there. So this is Tough Hedeman Bull Riding, Saturday at 8 p.m. at the El Paso Coliseum. Tickets go from $15 all the way up to $220. That is Saturday night. Also, Saturday night at Sullen Park Racetrack and Casino, there's a classic rock group, King Octopus, at 8:30, and they're going to go pretty far into the night at Sullen Park Racetrack and Casino Saturday night. And I believe that was the last one for Saturday. So last but certainly not least, we have Sunday. Actually, you know what? I was going to check some other events because I was going to check up on those Kaleidoscope guys, because this event, I almost missed it. This is actually Friday, so you want to go back with me to Friday again. This is going to be starting at 7 p.m. So this is going to be already chilly, based on how the weather is right now. And that's going to be at German Pub. That's exactly where the Krampus Fest was. That's the one that, for some reason, I really enjoyed that one. And it was just Christmas and the evilness of Krampus. It's one of the things that I think is kind of cool. So anyway, this week on the 7th, that is Friday, starting at 7 p.m. at German Pub, is going to be Love is a Battlefield Art Show and Market. They're going to be having a cosplay contest. They're going to do a lot of art. There's performances. They always have the fire dancers, which is actually pretty neat. And they always have food, and it's always a really good time. And it's going to be starting at 7. On the flyer here, it says 5 p.m. So, depending if you work or everything like that, they go on pretty late in the night. Not too late, but, starting at 5 or here at 7 where they have it on the schedule. It's a good time, especially if you're out there walking around, eating, buying some nice stuff, and if you stick around for the cosplay contest. That is Love is a Battlefield Art Show and Market at German Pub. And if you just go look for them on Facebook and do German Pub or the Love is a Battlefield Art Show and Market, you should be able to find them. They're on events. And also, again, I'm having to kind of backtrack here some of the events because I have them on a couple different pages. On Saturday, we also have there's going to be a rock art. Well, this is actually recording rock art in central New Mexico, and you're actually going to get invited into this hike, and you're going to be guided with these archaeologists, which is it's actually pretty neat. And that's going to be Saturday, the 8th. At 2 p.m. And it's going to be on Trans Mountain at the El Paso Museum of Archaeology. That is 4301 Trans Mountain. 2 p.m. Saturday, February the 8th. Let me see. What was the one that I was looking? All right, then. Okay, so those are the ones that I wanted to catch here at the on the pages that I have. There's also I thought this one was going to be going on. Well, this is actually going on Thursday, and this is one of the last ones that I came up to. And this is actually a different venue than from what I'm generally trying to cover. But nonetheless, it is still art. And this is actually an art exhibit. And it's called Expresiones. And it's by, where is her name? Susana Alvarado. And I just read a little bit on it. And she's basically a painter. And it's like hyper realist, very like exuberant and like sensual images. And again, this is one of those things that kind of brings the El Paso and Juarez sides together here on the border, and that's actually going to be on Thursday, and that is Expresiones by Susana Alvarado. And I'll go ahead and share this one on the AMP page, that way you guys could find it a little bit easier. Okay, so yeah, now I'm back on track. So now we're back on Sunday. Welcome back to Sunday. Sunday again. This is the matinee for the Saturday Night Fever, starting at 2:30 p.m. at the UTEP Dinner Theater. And also another show that we have is actually a ballet recital at the Plaza Theater. That is the Straussiana. And that's also at 2:30 on Sunday. And also we also have the hockey games between the Rhinos and the Northern Colorado Eagles. And then we also have at Flor de Barro yet another. This one is actually called Valentine's, not Galentine's. But this is Valentine's Rose and Paint. And this is at Flor de Barro Art Gallery. And tickets are $35. And then, to start winding down your weekend here for if you're going to do your Valentine's during the weekend, which, I believe that's all fine. Especially if you work during the week, just enjoy the whole weekend as your Valentine's celebration. But again, to wind down your Sunday rather, would be a couple little concerts here. One of them at the Sullen Park Casino, and that is actually going to be a mariachi, Tapatio, and they're a local group, and they're going to be doing their mariachi thing. And the other one, and that is starting at 5, and that's only going to go for about an hour. So try to get there nice and early, maybe just before 5. Enjoy some good time. Maybe do a little gambling and hang out there at the Sullen Park Racetrack and Casino. And the very last event that I have here on my list, on my mighty, mighty list here, is the Steel Queen. That is a pop rock band that is going to be performing at Speaking Rock Casino. And that is going to be starting at 8 p.m., going on till around 10 p.m. And that is Steel Queen at 8 at the Speaking Rock Casino, Sunday, February the 9th. And with that, that's all the events that I have here. Like I said, maybe look up some more events here on all your social medias or on the radio or wherever you find all your good stuff on the AMP page and on the AMP Twitter. And again, if you need to get a hold of me for anything, I am going to try to do music, some of the local music, start using it here around something for the podcast. Try to give some recognition to some of the local talent that we have out there, and we have quite a bit, and it's very exciting. So yeah, that's it for today. I'm trying to stay right under my time limit that I kind of allotted myself here, and I feel like I kept it. So don't forget to follow on Twitter or subscribe on the Facebook. That is AMP El Paso, at AMP El Paso on Twitter, or AMP El Paso on YouTube as well. And the email is, what is it again? I had it right here. Is it so sad that I don't even know my email for my own website, right? Yeah. All right. So, yeah. Email, ampeptx@gmail.com. And we'll try to do, if I didn't talk about your event and you want me to talk about a little bit, if it pertains to anything that has to do with art, go ahead and give me a little shout out there, either on the Facebook or the Twitter or through email at ampeptx@gmail.com. Follow on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at AMP El Paso. And like I said, I'll try to encourage you guys to use maybe a reusable water bottle, preferably metal. Plus, it'll keep it cooler, or it'll keep it warmer if you're carrying around tea or just room temperature water. Try to do that. Maybe try to look into reusable bags for your grocery shopping. And maybe we'll try to enjoy that and try to make a little bit of a difference here in our beautiful city of El Paso. And with that, I'll have to leave you. Again, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs on a very great Super Bowl. The ladies that were in the halftime show, that was very exciting, and it was very fun to watch. And certainly different, I guess, from other shows that we've had for the Super Bowl. And everybody, for the most part, I believe enjoyed that. And I mean, of course, the Super Bowl game. Hopefully you had some good times with your family. And enjoy this next upcoming weekend. Take care of yourselves, and don't forget to follow, subscribe, and let me know if you want to talk about your event. All right? Have a good one.